Grace asks, I have a loan with Capital One. I owe 21 grand at 7%. Whoa, 21 grand. You don't hear that much.
Right.
She cannot pay that much at this time. It comes to 452 a month.
Okay.
Was trying not to pay anything, just not able to. Okay. So after speaking with one of their agents, I started paying what I can since they claim they don't have a repayment program. I paid 200, 250, whatever. I was told that after 180 days late, then charge off or whatever is going to happen. So today someone called me up and I told them my sad story, and she talked about a settlement for 65%, which would be $13,000. I told her I cannot afford that, and she put me on hold for a long time. Anyway, here's the thing. If you're told, in this case, you can't do Chapter 7 bankruptcy, this is almost too good a question. It's almost like I couldn't set this up better because it gets into so many interesting points, okay? Number one, she's struggling with what is obviously a second mortgage, okay? And not that we shouldn't struggle with those, but unless you have a loan mod on your first, you shouldn't even be considering your second, let alone paying anything on it. And you also shouldn't be, if it's an unsecured second, in a non-recourse state, you shouldn't even bother paying on it. Anyway, now, what's happening, so the focus is, like it is with a lot of homeowners, it's divided, confused, conflicted, well-intentioned. It's a whole lot of things, right? Now, she's told, now she's 180 days late that it's going to charge off. Okay, well, to me that sounds fantastic, but they'll make it sound like that's a bad thing. What that means is that it's one step closer to never being collected again.
Yeah, so we should clarify, the charge-off is really their problem. I mean, it's a good accounting practices that they're stuck with. They have to move it from the good books to the bad books and move it to a place where they're no longer fooling their investors about the goodness of this loan. It's not worth what they say it's worth.
Now, there is perhaps is there something credit-wise that happens upon charge-off?
Yes. Charge-off is recorded on your credit report, so it contributes to your falling FICO score. But because you've been making short payments, you've been getting dinged every month. So whether you know it or not, you already have lots of FICO problems.
And get this, the whole thing about the 13,000, and now they're calling her to settle.
Yeah.
So
that's a beautiful.
Yeah, that's a great thing. I mean, it's not the end. I mean, there is a lot of hope here, and I want to stress that. But there's a whole lot of moving parts. What I'd like to just say is that isn't it interesting? They make it sound like it's this huge problem. Send us whatever you can. Then they're going to call and want the 13,000. I can tell you from personal experience that if you politely decline, that 65 is going to go right down to 30% really fast.
Yeah.
And 30% is a number that, had you been saving and not paying them for the last 6 months, you could get to. You could have gotten to. You may not have that option now, but it truly doesn't matter. Let that sucker ride. It will go to charge off. It will be sold on the secondary market as junk debt.
So somebody else is going to be calling you in 3 to 4 months, either a assigned agency or somebody's going to buy it, and you can continue to negotiate with them. And your settlement.
Don't make it sound like that's a terrible thing.
Yeah.
But what's happened here is that these initial people lent you 100% of the money. These next people are going to pick it up for maybe 10 cents on the dollar or
max.
1 cent on the dollar. So, in other words, these next people are looking to, while your current debtor is looking to get 100% of their money or 50%, the next debtor is looking at a real compromise situation, which they give you a good deal, and they're going to get 500% of their investment. So if you just consider it from that perspective, it's really, really a good deal. So anyway.
Yeah, so you may